And I'm here with Linden Eagles baseball coach Steve Buerkel. And Steve, today you guys split with a good Fowlerville team. Just your overall impressions right now, as far as what you have and what you're looking for as you guys approach the postseason.
Well, we're a scrappy team and a team that battles, and I think more than anything, we pitch well and play good defense, and I think that's a pretty good recipe for a high school baseball team to be successful. And the one thing I'm really proud of these kids that we're pretty young, but they're 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 really really good battlers. It's the best way I can say it. And it doesn't matter if we're in a one-run game or a two-run game or a three-run game. They're going to figure out a way to get back in it or at least make it close. And so, yeah, they've given me a lot of gray hairs. We've won a lot of close games, and it's I guess that's a sign of a good team. I guess you could say.
What have the past 6 years been like for you? I mean, you've done a very good job, a tremendous job of taking a team that was probably somewhere around 500 range, good team, and now you have the Eagles to where you guys are perennial contenders. You guys are always up there, to compete for Metro League titles and more, right on the doorstep of even going further in state playoffs. I mean, just what have the last 6 years been like for you personally?
It's been a growth. One of the biggest thing that I think any coach can do, and I'm a big believer in it, is that you're competitive and you expect to win. You expect to be competitive and you expect to win. And the second your kids start buying into that mentality, where you go and you play a big school and the jersey doesn't beat you, and you realize that when you play good and you play the way that you're capable of, that you're capable of beating everybody. And when it finally sinks in, and the kids finally start to realize that that is a potential, and it happens, it's really exciting to see, and I've been fortunate. I've had good families. I've had good kids, kids that bought into some of the things that we do here, and it makes it a lot easier and a lot funner, of course, when you win, and it makes it easier and funner when you got kids that buy into that mentality. So, looking back, this is my sixth year. Every year that I've taken over, our winning percentage at Linden Varsity has went up. And last year having 31 wins, it was going to be quite a feat for the winning percentage to go up from that. But believe it or not, we're sitting right now at 21-3, and it has. So if we can continue to play the way we are, it's amazing to me how some of these kids respond to that stuff.
How often, if at all, I mean, and it's a byproduct of the success and the hard work here, but being the number one ranked D2 team in the state's got to be a sense of pride for you guys.
Yeah, it's kind of almost hard to believe. You think about how many Division II teams are in the state, and to be ranked number one is quite a respect piece, because it comes from the coaches of Michigan High School Athletics Coaches Association. And we won a lot of games last year, and we never were ranked. And I think a lot of these kids that we've had in the past, good players. I mean, we had 6 kids go on to play college baseball for our team last year, and these kids kind of paved it for the kids of the future, and these teams that are here right now. So, a couple of the kids have called me and said, "Congratulations, coach! I saw you guys are ranked number 5, and then we jumped to number 2, and then this week we're number 1." And I said, "Hey, thanks to you. You guys helped pave our program to get on the map." And it's quite a respect thing. And when you finally start getting where people respect you, and I think we're getting some of that, it feels good.
I was speaking with seniors, Chris Kitch and Kevin Bates, and they were telling me, last year the seniors seemed like it was all business, very much business-like mentality, and and he said this year, that kind of helped them. This year they're a little bit looser, but they remember that real strict kind of business-like approach from last year.
Yeah, it's really, I get a big kick out of coaching from that regard, is because you get so many different personalities from kids and different personalities from teams as well. Last year's team was almost a crazy focused team, to the point where no practices were taken lightly, and you think as a coach that that's a dream come true, and it was. And then coming into this year, this team's just a real loose team. Nothing gets them uptight. I mean, you probably watched even when we put the bases loaded in the last inning, had the tie and run at first base, and we couldn't get it done. But that's just what they do. They play so loose that nothing bothers them, and in some ways, I think it's helped us win a lot of the close games because we don't pucker up. So you got two different types of teams from last year to this year. You got a team last year that was very talented, but it had a tendency to get tight at times because of that. And this team doesn't. And so far, the winning percentage is a little better.
Do you feel like that's something that could benefit you guys a little bit more? Like maybe come right on the doorstep of state semis. I mean, you guys have done well. Do you feel like maybe the difference in being a little bit looser this year might be the difference as how far you advance?
Well, I absolutely think that's a real good trait to have. I mean, you expect down the run to be in some tight ball games. You expect to be able to play teams that are going to hang in there, and the margin of error is so slim when you're playing good teams. You saw that tonight. We had two really good pitched games, 4 pitchers that threw very well against good ball teams, and we split, and that's just the way it goes. And if you take a couple of plays in that game and change things, they win both games or we win both games, and it's just the way it goes. And I've told the kids that those are the differences down the stretch, and we've made a lot of those type of plays this year, which is putting us in that number 1 ranking.
My final question for you, just in going back to the past 6 years, the job that you've done here. I mean, in your mind, if when you hear people talk about Linden baseball, I mean, what do you guys want to be known for? If someone had to have a phrase or a word that described Linden baseball, what would you prefer that be?
Respect. I'm a big believer on respect at all levels, from coach to kid, to coach to player to coach, from team to team. And if we get teams to know they got their hands full when Linden shows up against them, we've done our job.
Appreciate your time today, Steve.
Thank you.